Let's start by talking about rear-end collisions. Rear-end collisions, from my experience and for a lot of lawyers' experience in doing this, especially in today's modern world, has to do with distracted drivers. People simply looking down at devices and not paying attention to the roadway. This is probably the most common type of auto crash out there. Most of these type of wrecks occur when there's a stopped vehicle, which is waiting in traffic, or waiting to turn left or right, and the vehicles behind them are simply not paying attention, going too fast, or otherwise distracted, and carelessly and very dangerously negligent, when they all know that they should be looking at the vehicles in front of them. And these type of collisions are often also the most preventable types. Yet, ironically, they're the most common. In these types of situations, the police report or the investigating officers, if they actually fill out the completed report, will often place the fault on the moving vehicle, usually for following too closely or being inattentive. But remember that question about the distracted driving component. Oftentimes, the police officer can put two and two together of what happened, but yet they don't have clear evidence as to whether or not the person was actually looking on the phone and watching a video instead of paying attention to you and your family up ahead of them. We've all seen this, and it's very unfortunate that this still happens. This is why it's very important to hire a sophisticated law firm to dig into that factor for you, because distracted driving is simply dangerous, period. The driver of the moving vehicle in these situations, these rear-end collisions, will often admit liability at the scene to the police officer, and often will try to label it as, it was just an accident. Really? Does that seem like an accident to you? That's a question that only a sophisticated law firm and a partnership with a valuable client such as yourself should dig into every single time. Keep in mind that insurance companies, they are not your friends, and they're out to figure out every single way to defeat even an auto rear-end collision. They will pay attention to the police reports. However, sometimes carriers and defense attorneys will often try to figure out ways that they don't even have to take responsibility for a rear-end collision, let alone a disputed situation in an intersection. Some of the types of defenses that are out there that try to get around liability for rear-end collisions include, there was another person that caused it, the roadway was slick, there was a construction zone, or there was some problem with the vehicle and it was just, quote, an accident. Quote, an accident, not okay in my book. Now, one thing that's very valuable to know is that an experienced attorney can defeat and successfully overcome 90%, if not 100%, of all of these typical defenses that the insurance companies always put up. One of the things that an experienced attorney will look at for you is the vehicle position, the download data of the vehicles, the degree of impact, the speed, and all the engineering and calculation components that it takes to reconstruct a situation, including the following distance of the vehicles and whether or not the devices were used properly. In today's modern world, there's a lot of technology out there that can help defeat many of the arguments of the insurance companies. And if you have a great law firm that knows how to access that data on these vehicles, that could be a game changer for you. Thanks for watching all those aspects that you just saw and how the insurance companies can try to defeat your liability claim. Please feel free to reach out to us, see if we can help you in any situation. And please continue to follow the other topics. And of course, we appreciate you watching all of them or any one in particular. Thank you very much for your time.